Hello everyone, welcome to another Blue Hat SEO series episode. In this case study, we will be focusing on Dep.com, which is an SEO project that was losing traffic for the last 2.5 years. It is heavily affected by the helpful content update, and we will be explaining what are the main problems in this website and how we helped it to reverse actually its negative ranking state. And for the first time in the 2.5 years, it started to actually increase its rankings one more time, while its main competitor is actually losing the rankings. Since the domain here is an exact match domain, we will also be focusing on the EMD nature. And since we already have an holistic SEO case study inside the exact match domain world and methodologies, I won't be repeating the same information. That's why I suggest you to try to read this case study and also check some of the other Blue Hat SEO series episodes in the Blue Hat playlist in our channel. It will be really helpful for you to understand why the search engines tend to actually rank exact or partial match domains. And if there are multiple exact match domains with the same name, what will be happening to them? And we will be examining the 15 of the August broker algorithm update, or what it is trying to do, and how we help this website for reversing its negative ranking state. And again, every Blue Hat SEO case study actually focuses on unique and different suggestions and subjects of the SEO science in that specific case, which means that I won't be repeating some of the obvious things, but if you want to understand them, I strongly suggest you to watch the previous videos as well. So I will be showing it actually from the ashes first. This is Dep.com actually 2 years or 5 years of metrics. You will see that actually for 2 years or over 2 years, it was losing rankings for most of the time. And in this case, with the 15th of the August, it started to increase its actually queries and also together with the rankings as well. One main thing here is that after winning the 15th of the August core update, the website, as many of the actual project owners think that once they start to increase the rankings, they actually stop publishing. If you watch just the one previous video, it is explaining Subtract That Money, which is a finance SaaS, and you will see that the 2% discovery hits percentage in the cross stats analysis there, and you will see that why the website actually stopped being prioritized for further being crawled or for further being actually ranked for new type of queries. Once it actually started to be crawled less and published less and discovery hits go lower, it also starts to lose some rankings, not in terms of traffic, but in terms of indexation, because total query numbers were decreasing. If you watch it there, you will be seeing the dedicated suggestions for this. So I won't be focusing on that angle one more time. And with that said, this is the main competitor, Dep.org. The main thing is that since 2019, in every SEO case that I am publishing, I mainly focus on the core updates. If you lost a core update or any major Google update, until the next update, you won't be seeing any recovery. You won't be able to neutralize most of the negative ranking state. You can just slow down it. In this case, you should always focus on the core update date. If you have a winning for the core update, then you will see that actual sudden increases or sudden reversals. And here we see that at the 15th of the August, this specific website actually started to increase its rankings. But after that, let's say in this area, August actually, from let's say 7,000 to the 12,000, it is able to come. And for the queries from 63,000 and to the 75. And again, one more time, since it stopped publishing on that moment, the search engine started to actually decrease the prioritization of the source one more time. When it comes to the main competitor, Dep.org, after we win the main core update, it strongly actually start to lose rankings. One main thing here is that once you have actually these type of, let's say, and these type of changes together with your competitor, I strongly suggest you to try to see that actually how these websites are reverse correlating with each other as much as possible. For instance, the section here and the section here are clear that actually they are slightly reversing with each other, because both of them are exact match domain, and a search engine can't rank multiple exact match domains for a phrase like depth. It will be really hard for them to actually trust multiple websites with the same brand name, because this is actually about a concept that we use in the old Google days or old, let's say, SEO days, Google bombing. Basically, it means we directly create actually multiple websites with the same name, then we close entire first 3 pages with these exact match domains. After that point, Google actually started to decrease the chance of ranking of exact match domains, and usually they choose one representative, which means these are survival twins. While Dep.org is increasing in the rankings, Dep.com won't be able to come to its old days. That's why the topical map that is created in this area has to focus on actually outranking the Dep.org initially. And also the same goes for backlink processes as well. And we'll be focusing on PageRank distribution in this project too. So one main problem in the source is actually after winning the core update, stopping the publications because they think that actually it will continue like that. But in normal conditions, as I explained in Subtract That Money, these are called opportunity windows against your competitor. While your competitor is losing rankings and you are gaining, it means that until to the next core update, you will be more rankable and they will be less rankable. And this is a perfect opportunity to search engine show that actually you are covering as much as their topics. We have 66,000 queries in this case, or let's say 6,000 United States, and the traffic compared to it is really less, which means that actually the website doesn't have any problem in terms of relevance. The main problem is a little bit actually responsiveness and overall comparative authority. And in this case, if this source keeps publishing new documents by completing Topical map, when the next core update, they can directly replace their survival twin and rank way much higher. So this is the second point. If you are in the exact match domain project, you should always calculate how many different projects exist with the same name and how you can actually steal their authority. Here we actually have a comparison between how much my car is .com and how much my car is .org in a similar way. So that's why I'm telling I don't repeat the same suggestions, read the case study. So if we return to the Bluehead context, to be able to reflect your authority or PageRank distribution for these old projects, because this website actually is created like 1999. It's a very old website. It has really good amount of actual links. The main problem here is that this website actually has a research section, but the research section doesn't internally link anywhere. For instance, credit card survey nearly has really good amount of links, as you can see in this area, and really good amount of links. And these links like medical debt survey or some other type of surveys or statistics, they are all being linked really well. But the problem here is that until to the latest times, if you click one of these, you will see that they still don't have proper internal links through the main content, which means you actually get all of your PageRank to this page. All the external links just go here. But from here, it is not distributed with the contextual relevance to the other subsections of the website. So you should always understand the concept of PageRank sculpting and how you should be distributing your internal and external PageRank. This was one of the problems. And to be able to solve that issue, I actually created a different type of topical map. Usually people think that topical map is only for semantics and not related to PageRank, but it's not true. The semantics live in content, in images, and also in links as well. In this case, if we have a survey page for medical debt survey, you should be linking to the medical debt consolidation, which is directly monetization page and in the core section of topical map. And then we also have other related concepts like medical billing or mental health one more time, because these are survey and debt stress, because mental health and money survey is connected to the debt stress, which is a psychology topic, plus also one more time connect to the medical medicine or let's say health context in the context of the debt or debt consolidation or debt relief one more time. So that's why in this specific content briefs, you will see that actually we are distributing PageRank by taking from external sources, we distribute it internally. Soon to the Topical Authority course, I'll be adding new lectures, especially for expired domains, by explaining how you can actually revive the PageRank from 20 years old backlinks and properly distribute it for your internally new created subsections, because usually people buy let's say journal, a research journal or research magazine, and they turn it into an affiliate source or e-commerce source. So since the website's previous state and current state are too different from each other, sometimes even if the search engine ranks these EMDs or expired domains as well, initially good, after a point they balance this relevance. To be able to have permanent increase there, we try to adjust this relevance flow and natural as much as possible. So that's why I suggest you to try to join the course or join our community or read these case studies or join into our cohort systems, meet with people and try to understand how they are implementing these topical maps. Out of respect to the client, I won't be opening to the initial briefs, and this is like the third time I'm actually showing some of the initial files. This brings us to another subject, which is the web decay. One problem in this type of projects is that since they are really old, they have web decay, which means everything in this specific source already has been decayed. And we can try to understand it like this. If I search for types of interest rate, you will see that the Google directly actually crawls the entire web, and then they try to actually get the definitions of different type of interest rate types. But some of these things are actually wrong. It's normal because the open information extraction is not easy. And if you look at the results, we have Investopedia, 40 million clicks amount, like 6 million keywords, 500,000 referring domains. Second one, 12 million traffic, 1.5 million keywords, and 14,000 referring domain. The fourth ranking one, 4 million clicks, 1.2 million keywords, and 50,000 referring domain. And look at the third one. This is a project that actually I published earlier in one of my SEO case studies, and it is a stale project since the COVID area because we stopped working together due to the COVID. And after we stopped it during the COVID, but after the first core update, they increased their rankings, but they didn't keep actually pushing further. That's why Google actually ranked it higher a few more times. Then it started to actually balance with each other. The main thing here is that you can ask how actually this website keeps ranking here beyond, together with all these millions of click websites, popular brands, and high level of PageRank sources. It's not about their links. It's not about actually their brands either. It's mainly about the semantics plus historical data. As you know, when I created the topical authority concept with the formula of topical coverage multiplied with the historical data, which creates a topical authority, the historical data there means actually any type of user behavior, whether actually text selection like this, mouse hover, or clicks. When you have these type of signals, the next step is actually gathering all these data from query log sessions. Any user signal that signal the click satisfaction for this result basically makes it stickier. So this brings us to another subject. Today, 3 years ago, when I created this brief, there was actually mainly 8 type of interest rate. But today it is actually 12. This brings us to the situation of dynamic topic borders, which means where a topic starts and where a topic ends, and which topic is closer to the which another topic actually is dynamic. Entire topical graph is just keep moving between every core update. Every predicate, every noun, or every phrase, they all actually keep changing their relevance and distance to each other. That's why usually I give the example of the setup and install. In the March core update, the phrase setup and phrase install, despite they were too close to each other, and that's why in the title tag, even if you want to have install or the setup, your rankings will be very similar. But today it changes a lot. Documents are actually refined as different indices, and their rankings are also separated from each other because every predicate has a natural context. If you use the, let's say, predicate improve, it will be personal skill context. If you use the develop, it will be for engineering. If you also use increase, it will be about health, and mainly the hormone type of nouns will be coming there. If you watch the SEO for healthcare businesses case study from this channel, you will see that actually there I'm explaining some Google patterns and how Google actually uses sentence structures and patterns to extract knowledge. And they look for these patterns. If they change the topical distances and topical borders, and especially topical border here is going broader, it means your topical coverage is going less or decreased, because right now there are more interest rate types and we didn't process them. So which means if I want to create the same brief today, I will be going for 12. This is the brief that I created years ago. And if you open this page, you will directly actually see the anchor text that I am using, interest definition, the same also appearing here too. In the course, when I add this lecture there as an experimental lecture, I'll be deep diving for every heading, for every methodology, but this is a Bluehead case study for beginners. Right now for DCOM, this is the level. It's way much more detailed compared to the previous one. The first reason for that is actually explained in the quality thresholds case study that I have written earlier with the Svalbard.com, which also keep increasing its rankings even if we change nothing. During the 15th of the August core update, it also won that, even if the company has been shut down. And in this one, we explain the quality threshold. Once you actually exceed the quality threshold, once you are indexed, once you have historical data with positive rankings, positive click satisfaction signals, you will be sticky in the SERP. But if you are trying to rank for the first time, you will need to be doing way much more to exceed it and to earn the trust of the search engine and prioritization from the search engine and the tolerance of the search engine. That's why in my LinkedIn, I actually published this case study in a very simple way by saying reversing the negative ranking state. Then I have given you some of the new pages that I published from this website, and I have shown you the difference of ranking and impression changes between existing pages and between new pages. New pages, when we refresh or publish them, basically, they usually start increasing their rankings way slower compared to the already existing URLs. It's about mostly the historical data and the query log sessions about that URL ID. If you look at here, for instance, the crawl stats are directly increasing after we publish initial 200 documents, and directly you see from HTML and 200 status code also are increasing together with the discovery section, which is also relevant. Then you'll be seeing actually how these new queries are keep appearing, how semantically these text sections are actually related to each other, the synonyms and the modalities that we are enriching the query network. It is also explained here. You should read it. And lastly, you again see that we get more impressions and lower actually position because website has mainly domain level signal problems. You directly actually increase your total query numbers initially, and in the later stage, search engine will be testing and cleaning this page from some of the queries while amplifying the rankings for others. But if you go for brand new URLs, these are just the first week comparisons of these new refreshes. But when it comes to the publishing a completely new URL, and here too you see, for the last 16 months, this page keeps losing all the impressions. Once we do the update, impressions jump, the average position is decreasing because it's keep coming back with these refresh signals. For the new URL, see, we come, but not that much, not that strongly. Even actually there are indexations, so it will take time for it to become actually more sticky. Because search engines don't directly trust any of these websites, even if you have 25 years of history. And if you are an exact match domain, it means that it's not that clear whether you are a brand or not, especially if there are multiple EMDs with the same name. So this is the difference between existing and the new pages, and we should be careful about actually how we judge their rankings in this case. According to the overall ranking situation and prioritization of the source, a new page can directly start ranking higher or lower too. You should also understand it as well. And then one more time, I'm suggesting to watch the Structured Money case study in this case. Directly, you can understand more in this context as well. So this brings me to the one more section. It is inside the pages part. This was 4 millions. In 4.5 months, I was able to bring this to the 157K. So I suggest everyone to perform a log file analysis and compare how many necessary URLs you have and how many different URLs you have in the log file. This one had like 800,000 URLs and only 12,000 of them were hitting to the necessary URLs. And this was like just 3 months of data or something. So which means that there is a really huge bulk, actually unnecessary URLs that are keep coming over the last 2.5 years, which keeps the search engine busy. In this case, I must tell. Another part, I said this earlier, just slowly check this other agent. If this search engine crawls this with this other user agent, means that they are doing research on you for AI results mainly. Check it. You already know the KPIs here. I won't be repeating it one more time. Check the other videos. No need for actually repeating the same thing one more time, but you see the difference between this discovery and the refresh in this case. Discovery is near like over 60%, which means the website actually will be re-evaluated, not like as the before. And for these type of situations, it always should keep publishing. And one more time, internal link prioritizations here are not as it should be. I already explained earlier how it should be. Your homepage should be at the top. The Spanish version here is actually at the top, which is a problem. And that's why the Spanish ones actually keep increasing their, let's say, rankings faster than the English ones. First, index is smaller. That's why it is easier for them to increase. Secondly, most of the PageRank is also flowing there. Usually, by using on-click or button type of links, you should be able to actually prioritize and sculpt your PageRank as it should be. And rather than killing your PageRank for unnecessary type of category pages, and I deleted all the tag or category pages, and I strongly suggest actually many other things in terms of layout. I will be giving some small explanations for them too. This layout, 400,000 internal links is not that good. It's too much. It means that actually most of the links are in the boilerplate rather than the main content. It will be harder for search engine to actually understand where they should be linking. Consolidation here and the crit repair should be coming just after actually the homepage in this case. And the number differences should be more bordering, which means the consolidation, for instance, should at least have 600 or 700 more links compared to the non-important sections. If we see that actually this page, for instance, has only 100 less links or fewer links compared to consolidation, it means they have nearly the actual importance in the eyes of search engine, which is one of the issues. So together with your crawl stats, internal link distribution, and external PageRank distribution, you should adjust the signals and align them as much as possible. This brings me to the homepage, and always, if you have actually an exact match domain, your homepage should be ranking a kind of natural query. Here we have that.com, blah, 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 but this homepage actually, as an exact URL, it doesn't rank nearly for anything properly, to be honest. It's one of the problems. Because for these type of exact match domains, the homepage represents the highest PageRank source, and it is actually in my topical maps, as you know, I have one seat, one root, and one node. So this is actually a root of entire site and entire topical map. In this case, your brand name, domain name should be connected to the kinds of query, like depth help, for instance. Or if you want to rank for depth relief, then you shouldn't have a separate page just for the depth relief in this case, but you also have it too, which means you are trying to compete with your own homepage, which will be diluting your page rank and will be also creating conflicting signals for relevance too. Another part is most of the time the internal page rank here is not distributed as it should be. There is not enough level of tools here, or the design here actually is not as it should be all the time. But still, the newly published or refreshed documents are able to help to reverse the situation, even if the source actually doesn't, let's say, follow everything. At least after 2.5 years, just in the 5 months of work, it is able to come back while taking its main twin, exact match domain twin, to do, let's say, lower ranking situation. And I will be suggesting 3 patterns for you to read. You don't need to read everything. Just try to understand actually the importance of the inventors a little bit. And these people here are really important, especially Benedict A. Gomez. You will see this name multiple times. And here we talk about actually detecting query-specific duplicate documents. What does it mean? Let's say 2 documents are really close to each other, but still they might not be duplicate. In this case, we try to understand query-specific duplicate, which means that 2 pages might be completely different from each other, but certain sections of them might be equally relevant to a single query. In this case, these documents only a portion, and these documents, these amount of portions might be matching with each other, and they can start competing with each other. If you don't have clear internal links between them, or if you didn't actually adjust your contextual coverage, which means how much you cover that context, and if you didn't adjust also prioritization, which means how early you cover that context, in this case, they can actually compete with each other. That's why we create these content briefs in a really detailed way. And we try to explain things as much as necessary. We don't explain everything long as much as it should be in everywhere. And this website has that problem. It doesn't have any proper internal linking. Most of the documents are like from 10 years ago, and they don't have any proper internal links or proper anchor text as well. When it comes to this one, this is mainly about actually the facts, identify the unifying subject of the asset of facts. This is a kind of continuation pattern for the browsable fact repository, but in this one, you will actually understand that how the search engines actually try to connect different type of facts to each other, while you are using your links to create actually a kind of relevance from a fact to another fact, and what is the most important entity in that specific fact. And if you read this one, you will understand what type of actually a connection the search engine can see from your site compared to your competitor. Another thing here is that according to your page rank, you will see that the definition of the things will be changing or connection of the things will be changing. If a high source, high page rank website is connecting types of interest rates to the, let's say, financial freedom, you should be actually slightly imitating these connections, but not always. The main thing here is that search engines will need to have a consensus, and usually this consensus initially will be coming from high page rank sources. That's why trying to actually have their connections together with your own website and your own perspective would be helpful. This one is about mainly anchor texts. And here you will see that actually, even if you think that you are changing your anchor texts across different pages by just changing the suffixes or prefixes, you will see that actually it's not working that in that way that much, because they will actually be using lemmatization stemming for the anchor text phrases. That's why it is actually important most of the time to change the order of the verse or directly using conditional synonyms between the anchor text as well, while every anchor text based on their context should be pointing always a consistent single page. In DCOM, it's not a situation because they keep linking different pages with similar or same type of anchor text, while we have lots of unnecessary read more detail or unnecessary other phrases or names in the anchor text area as well. So I believe this is already a long and a video that I have used more than actually 4,000 words. Normally I would write articles, but before writing the articles, for now I'm using videos. Even 2 years later, actually, I can write this instance. The thing here is that even if you have a case study from 3 years ago or a project from 4 years ago, if you know how to remember and if you know how to articulate the knowledge and the thought, they will be actually light for you in the future. This channel and most of the stuff that I am doing is for helping the communities. If you want to join Holistic SEO communities, actually just subscribe to the newsletter. You'll be getting a welcome mail. You are always welcome to our events in Kuşadası or Istanbul. One conference in Istanbul and one mastermind in Kuşadası. You are always welcome to join our semantic SEO course, which also entails more than semantics or beyond semantics as well. Stay with reason, research, and science. Thanks so much, and see you in the next time.